Everyone who knew him described the same man. Quiet, hardworking, completely ordinary. He showed up to work every day, paid his bills on time, and rarely attracted any attention. To neighbors, he was just another person living a simple life. But sometimes, the most ordinary routines hide the most unexpected secrets. Because one day, during a routine investigation, police decided to take a closer look at something inside his home. His computer. What they discovered on that device would completely change how people saw the man they thought they knew. And it all started with something that seemed incredibly small. The man lived in a quiet neighborhood where nothing unusual ever seemed to happen. He had a normal job. Nothing flashy. Nothing suspicious. He went to work in the morning and returned home in the evening just like everyone else. Neighbors occasionally waved when they saw him outside. Some said he kept to himself. Others described him as polite but reserved. The type of person who didn't share much about his personal life. But there was one thing people did know. He spent a lot of time on his computer. Late at night, lights from his home often stayed on long after the rest of the street had gone quiet. At the time, nobody thought much of it. After all, millions of people spend hours online every day. But eventually, something unrelated brought authorities to his door. And that's when everything started to change. The situation didn't start as a major investigation. In fact, police were initially following up on a completely different matter. During that process, his name appeared in records connected to online activity that investigators wanted to understand better. At first, it seemed like it could simply be a misunderstanding. But investigators decided to take a closer look. Eventually, they obtained legal permission to examine devices connected to the case. That included his computer. To most people, a computer is just a tool. Lived nearby for years and never noticed anything unusual. But stories like this often follow a similar pattern. The public image someone presents isn't always the full story. And sometimes, the truth only comes out when investigators begin looking behind the scenes. Soon, authorities had gathered enough information to move forward with the case. And that's when the situation became public. Once the findings were reviewed by investigators and legal authorities, the case began moving through the proper legal process. The evidence from the computer played a key role in helping officials understand what had been happening. Digital investigations can reveal timelines, connections, and patterns that might otherwise remain hidden. In this case, those digital clues help build a clearer picture of events that had taken place over time. For people in the community, the biggest shock wasn't just what was discovered. It was who the discovery involved. Someone they had seen almost every day. Someone whose life seemed completely normal. Stories like this remind us of something important about the digital age. Our computers, phones, and online accounts hold huge amounts of information about our lives. Sometimes that information can help solve mysteries. Other times, it can reveal truths that no one expected. For investigators, digital evidence has become one of the most powerful tools in modern criminal cases. And in situations like this one, a single device can hold the answers to questions that once seemed impossible to solve. To the outside world, he had a normal life, a regular job, a quiet home, and a routine that looked just like everyone else's. But behind the screen of a single computer, there was a story no one in his neighborhood ever imagined. A story that only came to light when investigators decided to look a little closer. And once they did, nothing about his normal life looked the same again. Please kindly share, like, and subscribe for more true crime stories.